I don't have a whole lot of new stuff printed just because I've had a lot of work to do at home. However, I am not without updates. Everything I printed so far has gotten its first coat of primer. The forearms are gonna need a lot of touch-up work just where I took off the supports and where I did some cutting to make my hand fit through. The biceps will need very little. The shoulder pauldron will need very little. I think these will just need a second round, maybe a third round on the forearms, and they'll be good. The worst offenders, however, will be the pieces for the torso. The chest armor is not too bad, just some pits where there was some under extrusion and obviously where I welded together. So that'll need maybe 2 or 3 more rounds. The backpack is especially bad. Just from all the trouble I had printing it, there's gonna be a lot of filling and sanding that needs to be done, but that is why we go through this step. I did not even bother with this area because even though I could probably fill that in, I will not be able to sand it very well. However, while I was looking at this and how I was gonna deal with it, I did think of a fun way to attach these pieces together when I finally go to put it on, and that is using this Paracord buckle. What I'm thinking of doing is using some plastic plate to cover up this detail and just make this whole thing flat. I could glue this right on top and print some geometry to go over it to conceal it, but then I'll have this handy, accessible buckle that I can use to attach and detach these two halves together. It's definitely taking some artistic liberties, but I think it'll be a fun, functional feature. So in somewhat bigger news, I am reprinting the helmet. It's not that this helmet is bad by any means. It definitely fit me just fine, and obviously it looks good. However, I found out that Galactic Armory actually has their own version of this helmet. The helmet comes pre-separated, which makes it really handy for printing, but the most important thing is that it comes with its own printable visor buck for vacuum forming, which is very, very handy and something I needed very badly. Because there was no way I was gonna get around vacuum forming a visor for this thing, and this piece just does not make a good buck, and I knew I was gonna have a really hard time with it. That is it, everyone. Happy printing.